So, Jonathan, do you like Joe Caporoso? No. Why would I like him? Do you think, Jonathan, do you think I call it Brain Deads instead of Badlands for no reason? There's a reason. I personally think once All City comes to New York, it's going to be over for Badlands and JetsXFactor. I could be wrong about that, but that's my personal feeling. I think those guys produce a lot of content, and so you got to give them kudos for that. But it's not really great content, in my opinion. A lot of bad, wrong stuff, and too much sort of nostalgia for the past and comparing everybody to Jericho Cotchery and and whatnot. So I would say no. I'd say no. But then again, I'm a harsh grader, so. And I got to say, well, and they're much more successful than I am. So who am I to talk, right? it's like Badlands is way more successful than you, Frankie. It's like, yeah, well, give them that much. They got a lot of people working on it. And old Frankie's just old Frankie. They got a cast of millions over there. Now, I would say Jet's X Factor is really the best. Because if you think about the amount of information and expertise you get in Joe Blewett's breakdowns, that's excellent. And then you combine that with Robbie Sabo when he goes to training camp. He gives you the best training camp reports. That's excellent. And then if you're into some of the data and stats and things like that, Michael Nania breaks that down. So if you're looking for, and then on top of that, they have some reporters like that. Not that I think they do a good job. They don't, but they have them like Nick Fartria and Connor Short or whatever his name is. And so they have some opinion. They got film breakdown. They have data analytics. They got people at training camp. What more do you need? And the information that Joe Blewett gives you is actually useful and helpful and correct. Whereas some of the stuff that the Badlands people put out is not. It's just garbage, to be honest. Now, I will say, though, that sometimes they have inside information. So the Badlands people also have somebody named Will Parkinson's disease, as I call him. And, for example, Will Parkinson has a brother. And Will Parkinson's brother is named Charlie Parkinson. And Charlie Parkinson works in the general manager's office for Oklahoma University. So this team that we're playing tonight, Will Parkinson has a brother, Charlie Parkinson, who works in the general manager's office of Oklahoma. So because of that, he gets a lot of insight because of that and the fact that he was like the first Jet podcaster back in the day. He gets a lot of inside information. That's something old Frankie doesn't get. I don't get any inside information. No one's sending me insider info. But they do get inside information for those reasons at times. And so because of that, they know certain information. Bits of info. So you got to give them credit for what they do well. But overall, no. And also about Joe Caporoso, why does he always stare up at the ceiling? Why is he always like this on his videos? Now I'm going to talk about the Jets while staring up at the ceiling. Why, what? That's disturbing. What's going on there? What's happening? I don't understand. So that's a long-winded answer.